Hello friends, I'm Mike, the HiFi fanatic behind Audio Arkitekts. For those who are already subscribed, it's good to see you back for more. If you're a first timer and you're into CD players, amplifiers, loudspeakers, good music, basically all things audio, you're in the right place. It would be best if you stuck around for a bit because I'm sneaking my way into the world of music streaming, and I'll be looking at Scandinavian company Primare's NP5 Prisma Mark II. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let's get rolling. So in October of 2020, there was a horrible fire at the AKM semiconductor factory in Nobeoka, Japan. The fire itself took 3 days to extinguish and crippled manufacturing for the company. Why am I telling you this? Well, this company manufactures large-scale integrated circuits widely used in the audio industry. This created a sort of feeding frenzy amongst audio companies to buy up the remaining stock of chips and components. There's no telling when there will be normalcy with production. Aside from that disaster, it gets worse. The pandemic did a number on the shipping costs and the time it takes to receive products from overseas, which most companies receive products from overseas, as well as, obviously the hike in prices for components altogether. This left a huge demand, halted production, and shelved innovations for many companies. Primare didn't play this game. Since their first generation NP5 Prisma was reliant on AKM's sample rate converter chip to continue manufacturing the network players, they shifted gears a bit, sourced a readily available SRC chip from Texas Instruments, and redesigned the circuit to maintain the performance of the original NP5 Prisma. Actually, the new chip allows for MQA pass-through and DSD over PCM while using Roon, which was not possible with the original chip. So wait, whoa. So you're telling me a company took an awful situation and turned it into a positive within a reasonable time frame? What? That's what I call responsible engineering and remarkable leadership. Let's take a closer look at the NP5 Prisma Mark II. The NP5 Prisma Mark II is considerably small for a music streamer. Not like HiFi small, hit it, but small. Its enclosure has a very clean, minimalist design with very little going on in the front, sides, and top other than 3 small LED lights and a branded logo. The back is where all the action is. There's a small reset button, a RS-232 connection, which I see pretty frequently with Primare products, and I will tell you why in just a second. Following that is an Ethernet port, USB port, optical out, digital coax out, and a 5-volt power input. So the RS-232 connection is both for any updates that may require a hardwired cable connection. Most notably though, it's for control by RS-232 computer-based whole home automation systems like Control 4. All Primare devices have this custom installation oriented feature. Also, unique to the NP5 Prisma Mark II, the RS-232 connection can control all Primare models, new or old, with an RS-232 input. This provides for volume, mute, input selection, and standby control of the product partnered by the NP5 Prisma Mark II with the Prisma application, which I have downloaded and thoroughly tested. So, theoretically, one of Primare's original surround sound processors or integrated amplifiers can have the latest in streaming technology and a remote control functionality conveniently within the app being used for network playback. Switching gears a bit to the sample rate converter, the chip we talked about a little bit ago, which is a unique feature of the NP5 Prisma Mark II that provides multiple digital output options. There's a native option that allows for file transfer without alteration, noting that 16/44.1 files are transmitted at 24/44.1 kilohertz for improved overall performance. This feature optimizes the DAC that may have limited resolution capabilities. This means that the maximum resolution can be set for the DAC, with any file above that threshold being downsampled accordingly. The SRC chip is not in the circuit if the file resolution is at or below the selected sampling frequency. The other option is fixed, where all files are upsampled or downsampled to the chosen output resolution. This feature allows for audible improvements to virtually any file by upsampling to the frequency that works best within the system. This means that all files can be played back at 24/192 kHz, including those from Tidal and Qobuz. With this selection, the SRC chip is always in the signal path in fixed mode and provides a reclocked output signal that Primare feels in most cases will produce a more precise signal for potentially improved performance. It's a lot of techie stuff. Primare does recommend setting the volume to fixed for best sound, leaving any volume adjustments for the preamp, integrated amp, or processor. Now, let's talk power supply, because they included a, well, how can I put this? What's a nice way of saying this? Cost-effective option for you in the box. I asked their engineering team about this since it just didn't feel like a high quality power supply. They informed me that to keep the NP5 Prisma Mark II at a lower price point, a decision was made to cut costs with this particular component. I think this was an excellent idea because most serious audiophiles and music enthusiasts have power solutions just for a situation like this. Primare encouraged me to try other options, which I did. I connected my HiFi iPower 5-volt power supply to avoid any unnecessary noise through the electrical path. That's what they say it does. I believe it. Just let me have my fun. However, if I could get my hands on a high-end linear power supply that would work well with this unit, that could be a huge game changer. I'm happy about this because they very easily could have cut costs inside the box, which is not what I would have wanted to happen. So let's talk a little bit about the functionality of the app and my overall user experience before we jump into sound quality. The user interface on the app is clean. It's easy to use, simple to understand. I had a bit of trouble connecting Qobuz at first. However, once I figured out that Google Chromecast is essentially I had so much trouble saying that word a little bit ago, is essentially the hub for Qobuz, it was easy to connect. Also has Spotify or Tidal Connect, which you just directly connect to. In the user interface, I navigated to an option called Local Music, which is where I pulled up all of my music on my Roon core. That's where it lives. It's a very competent Roon bridge. You can also stream via AirPlay 2 and Bluetooth. The unit played my files quickly and seamlessly. So now let's find out how it sounded. I feel like the particular DAC you're using with music streamers is what essentially provides you with the majority of your sonic experience. Or am I wrong? Comment below. I connected the NP5 Prisma Mark II to my Denafrips Aries 2 via Cinnamon Coax by AudioQuest. I felt the Aries 2 is a great match because they are very comparable in price, and I love the sound of an R2R DAC. Super nice. Powering the speakers is the Cambridge Audio Evo 150, and I switched my speakers out to the Aperion Audio Veris 3 Grand Towers since I'm concurrently reviewing the Perlison D12S subwoofer and wanted the aesthetics to basically match that whole black gloss thing. Not to mention the Aperions are fantastic speakers. The NP5 Prisma Mark II has a lot of technology built in that does have a bit of impact on the quality. As Primare recommended, I left the audio settings on fixed, but I tried it both ways, but it gave me a more balanced and consistent sound. I thought the sound through the streaming with Qobuz and listening to the music I have available on my Roon core was enjoyable. It was incredibly vibrant, the tonality was balanced, however, the music had a good life to it. As I mentioned, this depends on the DAC you're using. If your DAC doesn't give you the sound you want, or it's a substandard DAC, it could change the output quality and provide you with a lesser experience. So I think pairing this device with a DAC you are comfortable with is probably the best practice. The size of this unit is just right, small enough to fit pretty much anywhere. It sounded really nice. This would be perfect for someone who already has a good infrastructure within their home and wants to add the advent of streaming within their system, as well as someone who has other Primare products and wants to integrate them, via utilizing the RS-232 option. This isn't a fancy streamer by any means. No, beautiful screens or nothing. However, it does the job it's supposed to do, and it does it with elegance and authority. The price seems to be fair and reasonable, coming in around $750 US. I would consider this a win for Primare and a great opportunity for someone to get involved with streaming who may be new to the concept or that wants options. Thank you all for joining me. If you are already subscribed, thank you. I have an online shop where I sell audio-inspired t-shirts. This is actually one of them. Hoodies and other merch. You can help out the channel. Great way to help out the channel. I encourage you to check it out, buy some stuff, and offer ideas for future designs. If you're new to Audio Arkitekts and like it so far, you dig the video, I encourage you to check out some of my other videos to see if my channel is the right fit for you. And I would love for you to hit that thumbs up and end up subscribing and joining me on my journey in HiFi. Thank you again for spending some time with me. Take care, and I will see you next time.